I would say thanks for coming, and trust me that very next few moment that you are here for, you're definitely going to enjoy it. Not because I provide some entertainment, but because I provide something really serious about chemistry. But today, this is another topic from the alcohol, phenol, and ether, and I'll be talking about two of the very important topic. These are very much theoretical. There is not much equation here, and this is going to be easy. But at the same time, from the point of view of your papers, this is going to be important, right? So the two topic I'm going to take you through. One is called methanol, and other is ethanol. These are two alcohol actually, and these are two most useful, most important alcohol that humans are familiar to the alcoholic family. One is not very useful, it's poisonous, so it's directly never been used. But other one is very much useful in our day-to-day life. We use it in several other way. People even direct consume them. So that one is ethanol. But let's start with the methanol. So what methanol is, the first thing I have about methanol, I'll be making some points here. The first thing is that also called wood spirit. This is also called wood spirit because in the past it used to be, it was prepared by destructive distillation of wood. Destructive distillation of wood. So in the past, it used to be prepared from the destructive distillation of the wood. What is destructive distillation? I've already told you in some previous episode, but right now I'm going to repeat it back. When wood is heated in limited or absence of air supply, it converts into wood spirit, also called methanol, along with some other product. The second thing about methanol is that commercially prepared from syngas. We remember syngas or synthesis gas. What is this syngas? It is a mixture of carbon monoxide and hydrogen. Right? So, these two reactants are used. So, commercially prepared from syngas, using the, following chemical equation, where carbon monoxide as a gas, it reacts with hydrogen, 200 to 300 atm pressure and around 500 Kelvin temperature, right? So this is how you obtain, methanol. So this is the commercial method to prepare methanol. So for humans and animals, it is poisonous. It is poisonous. How? In small quantity, it can cause in small quantity consumption, it causes blindness. It causes blindness, but in large quantity, it can cause death. It causes death. So now the question is where we can find the use of methanol. So used as a solvent in paint industry. I would say in paint industry. So that's the commercial use of the methanol and that's how the commercially it is prepared. So for humans it's absolutely worthless. You cannot directly consume it. It's been used in making paint, varnishes and all, so methanol is this much. I hope you have gone through. What next I have, its commercial preparation is also called catalytic hydrogenation. So what that mean? This process is called catalytic hydrogenation. So this process, is called catalytic hydrogenation. The next thing is ethanol. So we have to, consider talking about ethanol. What ethanol is? The first thing, prepared, or should I write preparation? By fermentation. This is something most of you probably know. Fermentation of sugar solution. Now the question is, what is fermentation? So the second thing I'm writing, fermentation is anaerobic combustion, or I should write oxidation of sugar by an enzyme called gymase. It's called gymase. So let's talk about ethanol. These two things I mentioned. In the first thing, the process by which ethanol is prepared is called fermentation of sugar. What fermentation is? It is an anaerobic oxidation of sugar, and this takes place in presence of an enzyme called gymase. Let's go into the depth of the equation. When sugar, sugar is added, sugar solution is added with some yeast fungi. This looks a bit funny, but I have to explain. The fungi actually produces invertase enzyme. This produces invertase enzyme, and this enzyme converts sugar into glucose and fructose. Now they both have something similar. They both are isomers, and their formula is C6H12O6. So this is also going to be C6H12O6. So the first thing happens when you put some yeast into sugar solution, it undergo enzymatic decomposition, and the sugar breaks into glucose and fructose. In the next step, that glucose by the yeast in presence of gymase enzyme, so glucose by the yeast in presence of gymase enzyme converts into ethanol. 3 mole of ethanol, because but along with that, it also produces CO2 and some amount of energy. So that's how ethanol is prepared. Now let's talk about the properties of the ethanol. The third important thing is that it is colorless, and water soluble, and non-toxic. Okay, so what important is here, as soon as alcohol, or I should write ethanol, reach about 14%, gymase activity is stopped. Is stopped. Right? The third properties I want to, this was the second, in case it was. The third one is that, if the reaction mixture of ethanol gets oxygen, gets air, ethanol converts into ethanoic acid. And what the problem is associated? Formation of this compound while ethanol is formed, this absolutely, spoil the flavor, spoil the, properties of the ethanol. So I'm going to write, so the presence of ethanoic acid in alcohol spoil the properties of ethanol. Right? So this reaction is important. What fourth is, is that it is very much useful. What use is, probably you do know, so this is not something I'm going to write. This is used in pharmaceutical industries for, as a solvent, right? So this is used as a solvent in medicine, in making so many other, beverages and all. So in very short, I'm going to make it, it is used as solvent in making syrup or medicine, right? And also as probably know that a huge quantity of ethanol people consume, in its diluted form all over the world. India is really one of the country where consumption of alcohol is really on the top. Why I'm saying? Because I see something very funny. I want to tell you something. I have seen, alcohol, the places where alcohols are being sold. I don't go there, but, there are several places I go and I see such places. People are like, fighting for getting that, bottle and whatever they are, willing to buy. I've never seen, they are, they are fighting, with that intensity, investing into something very important other than that. So that seems to be very funny. I really hate that. But this is the harsh reality of our society, where people are fighting for alcohol and not fighting for, for real cause of the life. Anyway, you probably know what I'm talking. So the second thing is that people use it, and what problem associated with alcohol is that consumption of alcohol, which may be, sometime not as the quality you might be expecting, can cause your health, deteriorate. This is something addictive. Let me tell you what happened here. Alcohol, changes your neurological, action, and you get dependence. You feel like you are going dependent over the alcohol. So this become addictive, and in a society like, society very much similar to, places in India where people are, addicted too badly that they even, have come into a situation that they are like bankrupt, and they are like, doing every possible, bad thing you can imagine, just because of the alcohol and for the alcohol. Anyway, that's not, I want to, discuss too much about. The one another thing I want to tell you is that denatured alcohol, right? So the fifth, fact about the alcohol is denatured alcohol. So pay attention here. This is going to be important. Denatured alcohol. To prevent misuse of alcohol on commercial level, it is mixed with copper sulfate and pyridine. These two actually makes alcohol unfit for drinking. So to prevent the misuse of alcohol, the alcohol is converted into denatured alcohol. How this is converted? In alcohol supply, they mix up copper sulfate and pyridine. The copper sulfate gives a strange color, and the pyridine gives a strange. That's how these two, theoretical topic, I've made you easy for you. And with this, I have to finish, the topic right here and this video right here. I would say thanks for watching. Thanks for your patience and being here. In case you liked, everything, I did, just, with all that, I would say, do subscribe. And the main motive is to, to provide all the topic from NCERT. Though I'm not taking things in Hindi, the only reason is that I want to make it a bit standard. What you can do, in place of, or instead of criticizing me, if you watch it on a regular basis, you're going to get two different, benefit. One, you will be studying chemistry. Other, you will be, overcoming your, problem with writing, because that's what I'm, really focusing on. So that's why I'm trying to make it more in, proper, or I would say book language. I want to, tell you that is what the pure, motive is. I'll say thanks for watching, right? And good night. Take care.